Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to explore a fascinating and often misunderstood topic, the psychology behind why women might create conflict in relationships. Now, this is not about generalizing or perpetuating stereotypes, but about understanding the deeper emotional and psychological factors that can contribute to conflict. We'll discuss the reasons, backed by psychology and relationship dynamics, that can cause women to feel the need to engage in conflict, and more importantly, how understanding this can improve your relationships. Conflict as a communication tool, a misunderstood expression of emotional needs. To begin with, it's crucial to understand that conflict in relationships, whether initiated by women or men, is often a way to communicate deeper emotional needs. Conflict is sometimes less about the actual argument and more about seeking validation, connection, or resolution to emotional discomfort. Women in particular may engage in conflict not because they enjoy fighting or drama, but because they're trying to bridge an emotional gap that they feel isn't being acknowledged. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships highlights that women often engage in conflict when they feel emotionally disconnected or misunderstood in their relationships. Unlike men, who might retreat or avoid conflict, women may be more likely to confront the issue head-on as a way to bring underlying emotions to the surface. It's an attempt to repair the bond or get emotional clarity, something they may not feel they're receiving otherwise. When we look at it from this angle, conflict isn't about creating chaos or friction, it's often about seeking understanding or reassurance. But if these emotional needs are ignored or mishandled, what starts as a need for connection can turn into ongoing tension. The role of emotional intelligence and unspoken expectations. Another important psychological factor that drives conflict in relationships, particularly for women, is unspoken expectations. Emotional intelligence plays a big role here. Many women are highly emotionally intuitive. They can pick up on subtle shifts in tone, body language, or mood. But when their emotional needs aren't being met and they don't feel comfortable expressing them directly, conflict can become a way to bring attention to those needs. For example, imagine a situation where a woman feels that her partner is pulling away emotionally. She might not express this outright because she doesn't want to seem overly sensitive or insecure. Instead, a small disagreement, say over household chores, can escalate into a larger argument. But what's actually happening beneath the surface is that she's trying to address her feelings of emotional neglect. A study in the Journal of Applied Social Psychology found that women, especially in long-term relationships, may express dissatisfaction indirectly. This means that what might seem like a trivial argument on the surface is actually about something much deeper, perhaps a desire for more emotional support, validation, or connection. It's not always about the dishes or what was said in passing. It's about a need for empathy or closeness that feels unmet. The psychological impact of feeling unheard or unseen. One of the key psychological triggers for conflict is feeling unheard or unseen in a relationship. When women feel like their emotions or concerns are not being validated, it can lead to frustration and tension. The need to feel understood and valued is a fundamental aspect of human relationships, and when that need isn't met, it can manifest as conflict. Research from the Gottman Institute, a renowned center for relationship studies, suggests that when people, especially women, don't feel heard, they're more likely to escalate conflicts in an attempt to get their partner's attention. This can take the form of more intense emotional reactions or revisiting old arguments in an attempt to resolve unresolved emotional wounds. In these moments, it's not just about the specific argument at hand, it's about feeling valued in the relationship. If a woman feels that her voice isn't being heard, she might unconsciously create conflict as a way to force her partner to engage emotionally. Now, while emotional and psychological factors are crucial, we also can't ignore the biological aspects that play a role in conflict. Hormonal fluctuations, particularly related to the menstrual cycle, can influence mood, emotional regulation, and even the intensity of conflicts. During different phases of the menstrual cycle, hormone levels, such as estrogen and progesterone, can impact stress levels, mood stability, and even how emotionally reactive a woman might feel. For instance, during the luteal phase just before menstruation, hormonal changes can lead to heightened emotional sensitivity and irritability, making conflicts more likely to occur or feel more intense. A 2017 study in the Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism found that women experience higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, during certain times of their menstrual cycle, which can contribute to feelings of tension and make them more prone to conflict. This isn't about blaming hormones. It's about recognizing that biological factors can influence emotional responses. Being aware of these fluctuations, both for women and their partners, can help reduce conflict by fostering understanding and compassion when emotions run high. Beyond biology and individual psychology, social and cultural factors also play a significant role in why conflict arises in relationships. Many women, particularly in traditional or patriarchal cultures, have been socialized to prioritize the needs of others over their own. This can lead to suppressed emotions or unexpressed frustrations that eventually come to the surface as conflict. For example, if a woman feels societal pressure to be the perfect partner, always supportive, accommodating, and never showing anger or frustration, those repressed feelings can build up. When they finally emerge, they might manifest as conflict, even over seemingly small issues. A report from the American Sociological Association suggests that societal expectations of gender roles can exacerbate relationship tensions. Women who feel restricted by traditional expectations may use conflict as a way to assert their needs, desires, or independence in the relationship. It's not about causing drama, it's about reclaiming emotional space in a world that often asks women to suppress their own needs. Now that we've explored why women might create conflict, let's talk about solutions. How can we break the cycle of conflict and foster healthier communication in relationships? One of the most effective strategies is to develop emotional intelligence, both for women and their partners. Understanding the emotional triggers behind conflict can help you address the root cause, rather than getting stuck in surface-level arguments. For example, if you notice that your partner is upset about something seemingly small, ask yourself, or ask them directly, if there's something deeper going on. Are they feeling disconnected, unseen, or unsupported? According to the Gottman Institute, one of the most powerful ways to diffuse conflict is through active listening. When people feel heard, they're less likely to escalate the situation. By truly listening to your partner's concerns and validating their emotions, you create a space where conflict doesn't have to turn into a fight. It can become a moment of emotional connection. It's also important to recognize when biological factors, such as hormonal changes, might be at play. If you're aware of how your body responds to stress or your menstrual cycle, you can communicate that to your partner and ask for understanding during those times. At the end of the day, conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but understanding the psychology behind why women, or anyone for that matter, might create conflict can help us approach these moments with more compassion and understanding. It's not about avoiding conflict, it's about navigating it in a healthy, constructive way. Remember, conflict often arises from a desire for emotional connection, to feel heard, or to address unmet needs. By being aware of these dynamics, we can foster stronger, more emotionally fulfilling relationships. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And in the comments, let me know, how do you navigate conflict in your relationships? Let's continue the conversation.